Hello everybody, Ace here, giving it to you straight with day 60 of the video log challenge, and today I wanted to talk to you about self-awareness and how it is absolutely integral to our evolution and why it is the foundation to the path of being human. Now, self-awareness has always been one of my strengths. It may have not always been a strength of mine in a way, always being aware of myself and then judging myself, holding myself back, making the storylines and narratives, all the things that we do as children, as we do as teens and as young adults. We compare, we contrast, but that's all awareness. And the key is if you can be aware of yourself, right? Like if you're one of those people that goes home in a day and you start kind of going through all the conversations you had and that was weird, that came out weird, or why did I say that, or why did I do that, and what do they think of me? That self-judgment, that self-criticism on one side can degrade the relationship with yourself. But in reality, that's the first signs, that's the first steps towards self-awareness. And that can become a huge tool for you moving forward on the spiritual journey through your human, because you already have the faculties in place to judge yourself. But in reality, all you're doing is you're taking everything that goes on in your reality, you're bringing it out, and you're looking at it. And you're seeing what it is and what it isn't. Now, the key in self-awareness is to become aware of it, not to judge it, not to make storylines about it, not to make narratives about it. It really is key to just become aware and become the observer, especially in the beginning when you're trying to learn yourself in a way, right? So you're trying to learn yourself in the beginning, you're going through, you're becoming more self-aware, but with that awareness comes criticism. And now that self-criticism is how that awareness becomes a detriment to our growth. But if we could take a step back from ourselves and allow ourselves to be however we are in that moment and just take it in as it is, and then be able to take it out later and look at it and see what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, that awareness, that foundational awareness, is how we can really move forward. But without that awareness of ourselves, without that ability to look at the things we do, to look at the situations in our lives and pull the lessons from it, without that awareness, we can't get to the next stage, which is that self-acceptance. And so self-awareness being the key, it's everything. If you can finally get to a point, when we finally get to a point where we can stop, breathe, ask, listen, and trust, and see that everything is happening for us, that awareness of that, even though our egos may not like it, even if we don't handle the situation the right way in that now moment, in our opinion of that now moment, in reality, the fact that we're even aware that there could have been a way of handling that situation or that person or that conversation in any different light to actually bring more love into the world, to bring more light into the world, that's awareness, and you are already accomplishing the first phase of the Being Human framework. And that's why I just wanted to jump on today real quick and talk a little bit more about the importance of self-awareness, is because I'm going to go deeper and deeper into these lessons as these videos go along. I just wanted to briefly hit on where I really got it from, and where I got this idea of self-awareness was that I always felt I was very self-aware. I was one of the most self-aware people around me, hyper-vigilant in a way. PTSD does that to you, right? And that hyper-vigilance allowed me to see everything for what it was. I may have not always believed it. I may have not always taken it as my own truth, but subconsciously, consciously, however you want to look at it, I saw everything happening the way it was happening. And it was my lack of acceptance of that awareness, which is what caused me that suffering. Now, in order for us to accept our awareness, we have to be okay with whatever is happening, good, bad, or indifferent. Because at the end of the day, nothing is good, nothing is bad, and nothing is indifferent. It just is, and it's all happening for us, which means it's perfect. And because we are imperfect humans, though perfect beings, that paradox of awareness, allows for us to fuck up and it be the best thing that ever happened to us. Or the best thing that ever happened to us. Say we don't go to a party because we gained enough awareness of ourselves to know, oh, I know every time I feel like this, something bad happens and I'm not going to go. Then something bad happens at that party. And now because you used your wisdom that you gained, you used the wisdom gained through the awareness, and you accepted that awareness about yourself, you now avoided a pitfall. And to me, that is learning the lesson that God and the universe is trying to get us to learn. And from there, we can move forward without having to incur any more of those lessons on that kind of frequency. And as we continue to stay aware and see that there are all lessons that are happening around us, that these things are happening for us, and that if we can not create storylines and narratives and have an opinion of what's going on and truly just let it be, let go of having those human opinions that judge things, to me, that's key. That's the key in awareness, is the letting go. And that's why awareness is foundational. That's why awareness is integral. And that's why awareness is probably, to me, one of the hardest steps to master, one of the hardest phases to master, is because there's the other side of awareness is having too much awareness. It's actually digging into too many things. Eventually, you get through so much of your trauma, you root out so much of your past that there really isn't anything left but the program. And because of your awareness, you've gained so much awareness, and it's become your only focus for so long that you almost become obsessive with it. And then you become too aware to where now you're digging into things that aren't actually there. You're trying to find something. You're trying to find an awareness of a root that's not there. And in reality, it's just a program. So now your awareness has to change from being something internal in your physical body, in your being, in your past, to now it's just part of the quantum computer in your mind that's saying, when this stimuli happens, this is the reaction we're going to have. And that's all the program is in our head. That's all the program is. And so that's what I wanted to leave you with today, was just keep working on your awareness, but understand that there is a point in time, there is a tipping scale, there is a point of diminishing returns, the law of diminishing returns, correct? That when you have too much awareness and you try to actually find things that aren't there. So if you are in a state where you're where I'm at, where I'm now having to check my storylines, I'm having to check these narratives I create, I'm having to check my awareness and not create things out of nothing or realize it's just a computer program, not chase rabbits that aren't actually there, right? Hologram rabbits or holographic rabbits that aren't actually there. That's the other side of this awareness train. And that's why this being human, this path of being human, these 4 phases of self-awareness, self-acceptance, self-care, and self-love, they're so deep, and it's not a straight line, and you're going to go from one phase back to the other, and there's no right or wrong phase to be in. It's all happening at once, because once you learn one side of the spectrum, then you got to learn the other side of the spectrum. Then you got to learn a little bit over here, then you got to go a little bit here, and then you find your harmony. And then everything changes in your life again, and then you got to reapply it. And that is the growth of being human. That's the evolution of this vehicle, of ourselves in this vehicle, is to constantly be in a state of issue, not problem, because to me, a problem is good or bad, right? A problem has an opinion behind it. When you have an opinion behind something, all of a sudden now you can judge it. I realized that today. The reason I judge myself so much and I project that judgment onto others is because I have an opinion about everything. And though that is great in the 3D realm, I don't think opinions moving forward, especially into 6D, are going to serve us as much. Because you know what is correct through the resonance of your being, through your heart. You don't need to think. You don't need to have an opinion. You don't need to say what's right or wrong, because it just is. And you just are. And wherever everybody else is where they are. And where you are is where you are. And that's okay. And that is the hard part of, that's the balance of being human. That's balancing and harmonizing the awareness, acceptance, care, and love, is to get to that 0 point again, another aspect of 0 point, where you don't have opinions and you don't have judgments and you don't have all these things, because you're aware that it's all perfect and you don't have to. Just because everybody else has an opinion doesn't mean you have to. Doesn't mean I have to. And so that's something I'm going to work on moving forward, is to let go of my opinions, which have been the foundation of my safety, that have been my body armor, they have been my weapons. My opinions is it solidifies me, it grounds me as a human on this planet. But if I'm trying to become if I'm trying to be the multidimensional being that I am, I have to let go of the singularity aspects of myself that are holding me back as just a human and not a human being living a multidimensional experience. So if you liked what you've seen and heard today, hit that like button. If you want to join the Army of Energy, hit that subscribe button. If you want to hit me up on email, it's damahwolf@gmail.com. If you want to donate to my work, it would go such a long way. I'd be so grateful. I have my Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal links below. With that, I'm almost done with week 6 of Dirt. I think I'm coming up on day 47 or 48, and still detoxing, still moving through a lot of this stuff. And I'm just very, very grateful for you all. I'm very grateful to be on this path with you. I'm grateful to be able to share the things that I'm learning and share the experiences that I'm having, because I know that I'm not further than any of you. I'm just here doing what I'm doing. And I think when you get to a point of being able to do what it is that you want to do, you'll see that there is no further, there is no behind, you're right where you're supposed to be. And with that, I hope you gain a little bit more clarity on your path today. I hope you get a little bit further on your journey. I hope you can bring in a little bit more love into your heart so that you can accept your awareness of yourself and see that these narratives and storylines about what's good and what's bad of what we are is not true, and that it's all perfect because it's all happening for us so that we can grow these immortal fractals of God that we are. I'm so grateful to all of you, and I will see you again at the same time tomorrow. Have a great afternoon, an even better evening. Goodbye.